Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gideon Sapon, and today I talk about the most challenging country I have visited. A couple of years ago, I traveled with the WFP, that's the World Food Program, the Food and Agriculture Organization, and the International Fund for Agricultural Development, all UN agencies, on a mission to Niger. And yes, so my experience in Niger makes Niger the most challenging country I've been to. I've been to roughly 24 countries over the last decade, and I talk about Niger. So first of all, Niger currently is under military rulership. Before I went there, they had a democratically elected leader, but currently General Chiani has taken over. He took over somewhere in June or July 2023, if my memory serves me correct. So we were there on the mission before he basically took over. And there are a number of things that makes Niger my most challenging country. First of all, security. So this particular mission involved several UN agencies, and if you are quite familiar with the Sahel region, you understand that various terrorist organizations operate within this particular region. So you have the northern part of Burkina Faso, you have northern part of Nigeria, you have Niger, you have Mali. These are areas where security is quite volatile. So you have JNIM, which is noted to be an extremist organization. You have affiliates of Islamic State and also Boko Haram that operates within this particular region. So this essentially means that any plans to visit any parts of Niger or within the Sahel region really must take key considerations of security. So we really had a very huge convoy. We traveled with about 15 cars, and a significant number of it was dedicated to the military, who made sure that we went into these communities and came out alive. Yeah, so security, it's a key thing. You are not allowed to visit. We actually avoided certain cities because of the volatile nature of the place. So security, number one. Point two, the temperature. Yeah. I mean, Ghana, coming from Ghana, I understand. You have to understand that Ghana is also pretty much hot when it comes to temperature. The heat we experience in the last couple of years is intense. It averages 24 on the low in Accra and 31 degrees Celsius. That is on the high side. But then let me put this in a proper context. In Niger, it averages from 40 to 51, and part of the regions we visited, the northern regions, particularly Zinde, records as high as 51 degrees Celsius. So this is really crazy, and you are not able to, you cannot imagine it once you are there and you experience the dryness and the desertification of the place and the intensity of the heat. It's always advisable that when you are going into the Sahel region, you carry water on you all the time. And if you have severe health issues, you probably might as well reconsider visiting these communities. I, at the point, had some health challenges, and the truth is that it worsened my health situation upon return to Ghana. It was really bad for me. Then point three, we visited a number of communities. I'll basically talk about one or two communities in this video. So we visited Zinde. Zinde from Niamey is about 12 hours drive. But yes, of course, we couldn't afford to drive for 12 hours. So we went by the United Nations aircraft. Now, you have to also understand that within the context here, there are no local flights. So you have to rely on international organizations who have their own aircrafts to travel within the country. And if you have to rely on local transportation, then you have issues to deal with security, and you have issues also to deal with poor nature of roads and travel across long distances in the heat. So all of these things also make the place really crazy and hot. But then, as part of the mission, we basically were there to examine the efforts all of these international organizations were putting in place to deal with the climate risk, and also address several desertification issues, food related and health related issues that happens within the region. But quickly, let me put Niger also in a proper context in terms of the statistics, and this would help to give you a fair understanding when we talk about the challenging nature of Niger. Niger population is roughly 25 million, 24.9 million as of 2023. 41% of the population live on less than $1 every day, and this is incredible, with about 52% of the population under the age of 16. So yeah, that should tell you the dynamics. With 83% also of the population live in rural communities, which basically also means that they depend on agriculture and subsistence living for their livelihoods. So this is the context within which Niger finds itself. Now let me jump quickly to the third point, climate and impacts on the land in Niger. So we visited the Dosso region. The Dosso region essentially is about 1.5 hours drive from the capital of Niamey. It's in the southwestern part of Niger, with its capital being Dosso. We visited several UN sites where they were putting in place actions to reverse the desertification of the place. One important strategy that was being adopted was a half-moon strategy. So as you can rightly see in the video, the environment itself tells you how dry the place was, and the heat. I keep emphasizing the intensity of the heat. So here you have community members who work in temperatures of about 40 plus. What they do is that they dig a half-moon shape, sort of a little pit in the ground. And what this does is that whenever it rains, these half-moon pitches are able to hold water, and it helps to rejuvenate the vegetation in these areas, and also it helps to prevent flash floods. But then it also holds some water where community folks can easily go and use the water for irrigation purposes. And as you can rightly see in the video, you had several community members who had come out, who were engaging in these half moon structures all over the community. I was also in Zende, as you can see in your picture, where we visited several areas where community folks, despite the challenging environments in terms of weather, in terms of the temperature, in terms of the remoteness, in terms of the closeness to the Sahara Desert, they went at length to plant several vegetable gardens, to plant onion gardens, etc. Interestingly, in Ghana, a lot of our onion comes from Niger. And when I visited Niger, I understood the resilience that it took for them to be able to come out and produce some of these vegetables, which end up coming to the south. Yes, but it's an amazing place. It's always important to travel to experience different cultures, and also experience different people. But then all in all, I mean, we are all one people, and let's continue to live as one people. Let's travel, let's experience places. Watch out for my next video where I share some of my travel experiences. Where I talk about best cities that I've visited globally in Africa, etc. Until then, let's keep on working hard this new year. Subscribe, share my video. Talk later. Bye bye.